after I featured in the trend, and if I haven't met my wife before that time, there's a tendency that I might not really get it right. Growing up wasn't as easy because my parents, they had a major current appearances. I decided from the early stage of the marriage. Those days, it's even you about it every time. Yeah, you it was so I'll put it there that I know that my siblings, at that time my siblings already came in there in Lagos with us. I know that my siblings are eating bread and butter. When it was one day, Miss I would come and eat bread and butter. Because I felt like I wasn't enjoying like one day I rose up from my desk, I went to meet him in the office and I told him, I said, "Okay, I'm not working with him." He looked at me like, is this man okay? Is this how they tender resignation letter? At least you do it properly and officially. So he said, what happened? I said I'm tired, that I want to chase my purpose. I want to do what God will have me do. It was the days of doing DVD. Now we film our movies on streaming platforms. So with these 2,000 copies of DVD, I cannot remember sending 50 copies. I asked her, when the premiere finished, no big man came in. Nobody. The only sense of people that came are the youth, young people that only come to eat your popcorn and even drama ministry sisters does not want to. There's no relationship with drama ministers as brothers. Why?
Hello everyone, you're welcome to this wonderful show, The Experience, where people come and share the experience about their lives and their ministry. My name is Bamike and I have with me here
Odeyoyin, Emmanuel.
So, we have on this show our evangelist. Is a man of God. He has the calling of God in his life, and his name is Evangelist Seun Adejumobi.
Thank you so much. I'm glad to be here. Thank you for having me. Such a privilege.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir.
We want you to share the experience about life and everything. And firstly, the question I want to ask is that want to know about your background. Were you born with a silver spoon? Because if people are singing, I'm like, you are not a great man. Tell us how it started. Were you born with a silver spoon, that your parents that rich that you just start doing everything with the money your parents have?
Of course. My parents are very rich, very, very rich, extremely rich. Of course, we all have rich parents. Abroad is the richest of all.
Yes.
Yeah, it's been funding and raising us to this age. Okay, so the candid, I always say that my parents are not rich. I'll say that yes, I came from a very humble home. Very humble home. Average. My mom is a teacher. My dad is also a teacher. So they are both government teachers, civil servants. And you know, when you're a civil servant and a teacher, I just average people, with average salary. That being said, I was born in the family of Adejumobi. I happen to be the firstborn.
Wow.
Yeah. We are three. So I happen to be the first of the three. And I don't know how far you want me to go in explaining this background, because my story is like a full book, basically. But I've gone through different phases in life. I like to say this a lot, that growing up wasn't as easy for me, because my parents, they had they had a major marital crisis, and they started from the early stage of the marriage. So it kind of affected us as the children. So in a way, my growing up, I had a shared part of living with my mom a lot, at some point in life living with my dad alone. So you can imagine what life would be like. They were living separately. So any stage of my life, from very, very early stage of my life, even right from where we were born. Yeah, because is as bad as that. My mom and my dad, due to some circumstances, it wasn't quarrel, it wasn't because they were fighting. I think, okay, now this story is not about them, so it's about me, so don't let me draw too much on that. But I think what happened was that my mom got a transfer to Lagos State. At that time, I had based in Oyo State. She got a transfer because of her job, so she needed to travel immediately after they got married, and so my dad comes weekends, go back, comes weekends. So that's how we came. So they've been living apart right from then till now. So you can imagine what that means. So we came as a result of that. So I was with my mom till I was like 5 years old. And after that, I was taken to my dad in Oyo State, Shaki, precisely.
Wow.
So I had that very, very challenging beginning growing up. At the age of 6, 7, I was almost like an adopted child of a grandma, because I was staying with my grandma, my dad's mom, because my grandma lives in the same area with my dad, obviously. So at some point in my life, I learned to, before going to school in the morning, I'll go hawk for my grandma.
Wow.
Yes, I hawk. It's called akara. People that are very familiar with this kind of akara. There's one akara, they call akara kongi.
Okay.
You know akara kongi?
I don't know that.
Kongu, and but in the morning I hawk this, and then when I come back from school, I say like a payiri. They call that a payiri. You don't know it. Now this a payiri. This groundnut that they mix with salt. They mix it with salt. So when I come back from school, so that affected me a lot in person. And before the universe, I was very bright, very, very bright kid. I have history of like report card before they did Lagos. Is like I'm the first or second in class. That I've always been. But by the time I was taken to Shaki now, and then with all that I went through, my education standards I reducing, and then when I got to like primary 5, I had to in kids class. So you can imagine that reduction in standard from a child that used to be first and second position to a child that started repeating class. So it was that part. So that showed that the influence of marital crisis in the life of the kid. And well, don't let me say too much, but this story is actually a script. It's a script that people will still get to see by God's grace. Oh, wow.
It's a lot. It's a lot.
Actually, I try as much as being used to survive.
So be expecting the story of Adejumobi.
So when you were speaking, sir, I was like, can you share with us like some experience while living with drama that you cannot forget that? At that point you were like, if I was with my mom now, this would not have like 2 or 3 happen.
Yeah, obviously, there's no way you can compare the life of you being with your immediate mother, your parents that love you genuinely. You cannot compare it with living with any other person. My grandma is not a bad person, because I even feel for her, because at that age, she's basically the one that was looking after me there. Yeah. I'm trying not to. There's a part of my dad that is so deep, so don't want to really go there. You understand?
Where to start?
Yeah. So if I say she was the one looking after me, you probably will rat. So she was one that was taking care of me, and then my experience there. Even though then I thought that she was matrixing me, but I discovered later in life that many things that I could do as a man was what I actually learned while I was living with my grandma, because I was made to do many things. I, at before 10, I started making amala for myself. I started making amala for the family. I started using a hollow. Yeah, to dry pepper. I had all this experience. I hawk, I do everything like that. And most times when those times, there's no phone.
Yes.
There's no phone. So I write letter from time to time to my mom in Lagos. And then I'll write it in the letter that those days is even Yoruba the time. Yeah, so I'll put it there that I know that my siblings, at that time, my siblings already came. They are in Lagos with us. So I said, I know that my siblings are eating bread and butter in Lagos. One day, maybe I'll come and eat bread and butter. So I felt like I wasn't enjoying like that. But thank God for what we have become today. Thank God, because we can look back, because what I can say is that God used that experience to actually build me, because at the end of the day, I realized that growing up, I found myself being an independent person. I gathered that strength even in after secondary school. Then I forgot to say that after that primary school that I repeated class, my mom found a way, mothers. She found a way to smuggle me back to Lagos. Wow. So I did my secondary school and every other thing back in Lagos. So after my secondary school, I started working. I did fish farming. I work in different places. So to say, I'm just trying to say that experience from LC hurts me to the independence, taught me to be an adulting person myself. And then I started feeling like, oh, now I need to rise to be a father figure for the family, for my siblings. You understand?
Yes, sir.
So it was that experience, my experience with grandma, that built me to be an independent person in life as well.
Thank God. Thank God. So it's good. It's good. So many people don't think that whatever they pass through, good or bad, is building them to become whatever they want to become in future. Let us go ministerial now. Okay, can you tell us how what really how do you become a drama minister, and what really led to you seeing yourself in drama ministry? This is I just wake up in the morning and say,
yeah, I think we all started acting based on passion and the love for we just discovered that we had the gift and we just want to act. I mean, an average actor today or drama minister today, I don't know if there's anybody that's from birth or from heaven. God just created that go and back it album. We just started acting. For me, that was my experience. In fact, my first that I can remember was even while I was in Shaki. That I think I was age 9 or so, thereabouts. The first time that I can remember, I don't know if I've acted before that time, but before that was like a major experience for me. It was a crossover service I went to. It was an African church crossover service, and they were to do a drama. And my dad was also a member of drama team in the church. So I followed him to the drama rehearsal that day. I wasn't there as a member, I just followed him. And so I was watching, and they started having issue with their member that they turned up for rehearsals. They were like, and when you were why people did not come, who will not take this Babalawo? Imagine this small boy. And my dad is so good with all those stuff, but he's taking another role. And I just said, holy shit, I can do this. And they all look at me like, and someone just say, it would be nice, let him come and do it now. And so they told me all those incantation. If I look past that I remember it right from that age. But they just told me everything like that, and that was it. I did the Abali show. And the day that I'm to minister, the person that was to take table did not show up. I mean, the excitement that I acted about is everybody clap for me. I just told the drama coordinator behind the scene that, hey, would you come and take, give me the mask. Let me go and do the devil.
On the same
drama. I really do a character that night. Same that night. And I think it was my first major stage appearance. So the devil knew what was coming. So the devil came for me heavily. Because that's immediately after that drama, I had a very strange attack. Like I was physically, I was awake and I was seeing spirits. You know, because I told her I live with my grandma there. So my grandma woke up, I was using ropes to rub my body. And then I was screaming, people in the compound, because you know that village setting is like a compound family. So a lot of people rush into the room and they say, Kilo shit, what happened to him? And my grandma was saying, Akobani. And I was saying, everyone, see them. Wow. I was counting to. So it was more like a strange attack. It was now that I had the data understanding that, okay, then I know that God wants to use drama for something great in my mind. So it was my major announcement, and they already knew that, we need to threaten this. So it was a major threat, and I thank God that by mercy, because even then, I had zero understanding about drama ministry. So by mercy, God preserved it, you know, and moving forward to when I eventually realized what it means to be in ministry was all through that time, my secondary school, back to Lagos, we had a group called the Passionate Youth Drama. It wasn't a ministry for us, it was just, we were just enjoying ourselves. We act in church, but we are not seeing it as ministry like the understanding we have now, right? So it was later, while I was in school, while I was studying marine engineering in school, I was in RCF, Redeemed Christian Fellowship, and I was actually made the prayer coordinator. You know, but the day they were announcing the next executive, and then people, they started calling names, and almost everybody were predicting that they would call me for drama court. Lo and behold, the spirit led them otherwise and prayer court. And so when they gave me the prayer court, they announced another man as drama coach. Right at the front, they brought that Solomon. I still remember his name. Solomon held by him and said, Roshem, you are doing this with me. You are doing this with you. This is your office. You know. But my function was, so it was in one of that drama ministration in campus. The school I attended is School of Oceanography. It's a maritime school in Victoria. So it was in one of those ministration we had in RCA that I was the one that raised the altar call. So I raised the altar call, people started coming out, crying. And I just play that you are not going to be a marine engineer. You are going to be a drama minister. This is why, of course, this is your purpose. And I started reflecting right there on the stage that in the firstborn, that my mom has already seen what this thing I'm doing as a good. They've already, you know how the teachers, how they sit in their staff room to discuss their children's destiny. You know, our friends are already saying, that course that your son is doing, if they didn't finish, there is money, God will help, let him get a good job in one of these big vessels. You know, so I was reflecting on that, and I knelt down on a stage, and I was also crying. And so it was a very confused scene. Here is the man of God that raised water pour, and people were crying. I was there also crying. I was also crying with them. People would be like, what was going on? God was dealing with me separately. They were going through their own dealings, but God was dealing with me on another ground entirely. So it was at that point, I struggled after school. I still got a job. You know, after the base school, I got a job. I worked in a property development company in Lekki for like 2 years. It was a fairly good job for a young man because at that time, it was a job that came with accommodation. Wow. You know, they gave us accommodation, 3-bedroom flats. They shared apartments with the other staff. You know, but for those 2 years, I struggled. Every time I get to the office, I'm always restless. You know, I feel like I'm in the wrong place.
I'm not actually where God wanted to be. And one day, okay, most times my boss will come, Mr. Henry, if you can see this, sorry, I had to mention Mr. Henry Agama. He's a Bayelsa man, a very loving man. Sometimes he also function like a mentor to me. He's also a Christian. You understand life and understand ministry too. So when he comes into the office and he will meet me sleeping, you see, Seun, you don't go to all those your drama now. You know. So one day I rose up from my desk, I went to meet him in the office and I told him, I said, Oga, I'm not working again. He looked at me like, is this man okay? Is this how they tender resignation letter? At least you do it properly and efficiently. So he said, what happened? I said, I'm tired. That I want to chase my purpose. I want to do what God would have me do. And he said, go back for sleep over it and then come back to the office tomorrow and let's discuss it. I said, okay, you will not see me in this office tomorrow. So it has gotten to that height. You know, I said, you won't see me in this office tomorrow. So I left. His wife called because we were like family. That bond was so strong. His wife called me and said, Oga said, you don't want to work again. What's happen? Life is not easy like that. So gather money small before you stand on your own. I says, no, sorry, man. I just want to do what God would have me do. This was, I think, in 2014. This was when my decision, 2013 there, that was when I decided that I want to go into full time, you know. So I left. My boss, out of love for me, gave me money, gave me extra money. I think gave me like 250,000 naira at that time, you know, added to whatever I have, and he encouraged me that I should start something small. That year was when recharge card printing was still very trending, you know. People still make money, so he advised that maybe you should start doing recharge card printing, you know, and people will be buying from you. You'll be selling in wholesales. So he gave me that money. But because there is fire in my boat, you know, I went and I packed the entire money. I said, yes, it's time to shoot my CC. You know, so in 2014, I wrote that script, Misplaced, and we shot it in 2014. In 2015 it was released. I used everything I have on that project, and it was the beginning of the experience. You know, the one thing I discovered was what God used that to do in my life was to, first of all, what was the word now? It was God actually used those seasons to humble me completely. Because I also forget to tell you that I was also like a youth leader in my church, one of the Redeemed Church in Victoria Island. So shooting that movie, I had hope that, by the time I shoot this movie, I'm going to do a launching in my church. All these big men, they will come and they will support me. And meanwhile, when I was preparing for that movie to shoot, people supported me. Apart from the money I had, people in church, they supported me. Some persons leading me. You know, it was a very big movie. It was directed by Daddy Kola. Can you imagine my first movie as a baby in ministry? So you can imagine the standard. It was shot by Tole Adepoju. You know, so you can imagine the standard at that time. You know. And we shot that movie, and man of God, everything, all the money I had, everything. And it was the days of doing DVD. Now we put our movies on streaming platforms. So we did 2,000 copies of DVD. I cannot remember selling 50 copies. And I remember selling 50 copies. And I plan to do premiere, the launching. The day before, like few days to when we were going to do the premiere, editor told me that
everything has been letting go crashed.
Jesus.
And I need to start the work again. So I was in Ibadan. I will not mention the name of the DJ so that I will not spoil his business for you. So I sat in his studio. We were on it for long. The night before the premiere, it got done of it that no, we are not going to show this movie. So I came back to Lagos. All the awareness we've done. My church, they have this big screen. They gave me the church to show the movie. Church supported me with bus to go and pick students. My church bus, they used to go to Yaba Tech, mainland, to pack students. Sorry, I'm causing it. Okay, so they used to go to Yaba Tech to pack students. So the students came, and there was no movie. So it was that same day that Trek on Shorts When Darkness is Too Loud. And I was part of the projects. So I just decided to show that movie When Darkness is Too Loud. That message was actually for me, and that was when darkness is musical, you know. And so that it was my beginning, my starting point in ministry was that unbelief. First, I asked that when the premiere finished, no days I came up. Nobody, the only set of people that came are the youth, young people that only come to eat your popcorn and drink. So instead of giving you something, the only we spent on them, you know. So when they left, my brothers and sister, I went to the altar. I cried like a baby. I cried like a hopeless man. I cried because at that time, I didn't know that this is what ministry looks like. You know, it was later that I started learning that God will actually want to take my focus away from things I think can bring money to you. He wants me to shift away from my strengths that I think I have. He wants to disconnect me from every existing connection that I think can make me survive the ministry. Because in my head, I already planned it that these are people that will help me. But I go to that point that I needed to seek God alone. You know, I needed to see Him alone. I needed to just see that in this journey, He's the only one that can carry me through. You know, I told you I was living in an official accommodation. When I left the office, 3 months after the rent expired, so I needed to leave the house. So I had accommodation issues. At a point in my life, I lived in a security house in Aja. So when I come to Drama Native, I said that people call Seun Adejumobi, we use the smile. Only if you know that your Seun Adejumobi is living in a security. He's living in a security house, you know. And fast forward, because it's a lot. Fast forward on letting now. Around those season, but right from God to fulfill all His assignments. Provision will come.
Yes.
But to meet my own personal needs is always a struggle. There was no money for me to rent a house. There was no money to take care of myself. But if there is a need to shoot a movie or do a drama concert,
God will provide.
God will provide. So sometimes I go back to God and say, "God, you are partial. How come when it is your own work you will provide, but when it is me?" I didn't know that all those periods, God was actually training me. Because God was preparing my heart, was checking my motive. I'm just getting to know now that God has helped us, to have a level of understanding the ministry that God wants you to put us in a place where we realize that even if He gives you 1 billion today, it's not your money. Do you understand? So the next thing, my wife can testify to these facts. If there's any big thing I'm saying like this, I'm taking it alongside ministry. If we are seeing a house like this and we are designing that house, the next thing that will punch to mind is, this house, it be happy to put people there for location. You know, if you are designing what to buy for car, you say, which car can be useful for location? Or else, my wife is like, and you would say, if I'm more Juno, I don't want to know more than location. You know, so God has helped me through that journey. You know, my whole thoughts has been recessed so much that it's all about the ministry. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
You know, so if there is a possibility that if at the time I did my first second movie, I made money in the year, there's a possibility that I would have been distracted. There's a possibility because a man or one of our father permits me to mention that our father don't know his data. I don't need permission to that the man said something. He said when God wants to release a glory upon a man's life, he checks his acts. That if his acts lack the capacity to carry the glory, that glory, as good as the glory is, can destroy that man.
Yes, sir.
So at that time, I think my heart was not right and mature enough to carry the glory of the glory that comes in the form of blessing. So God was still trying to work on my hands. Work on my hands. So all those times I was looking like, I'm suffering, but I'm doing the work. I'm doing the work of God. There's no money. We are not even looking attractive to sister. They are not wearing designer clothes. You know, you understand?
Yes,
Wear all these big shirts, big clothes. And sister is like, say, she need a fair drama minister. I married drama minister. But we thank God now that the story is not like that again. We are still in the process. You know, the journey still continues. You know, even our fathers will tell you that they are still going through their own dealings. So there is no point that you have arrived in ministry.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, except if you are not practicing ministry. If you are in ministry, even that the Adeboye will tell you his own dealings, because the higher you get to, the higher the demands, that God will place on you. So God will keep giving you vision that will be scary, and you still be looking, trusting Him. There is no time that you say, I have enough money to, because if you have billions, God will give you vision of trillions.
Yes, sir.
Okay, that will lead me to one particular question. Actually, you answered a part. Like, from being a worker in a property company to being a youth leader in RCF and a ministry man, I know to some extent there will be ladies around. So how do you cope? And at what point do you, okay, this is the woman for me, and you made that decision?
Yeah. Okay, so while I was in RCF in school, knowing a sister or having a relationship was not coming to mind at all. You know, because it wasn't even a thought. The attention was on school and the ministry we are doing in school. But you know, when you grow up when you get to a certain age as a man, the need, that sense of it's not good for a man to be alone, that realization will start sitting in. And like I said earlier, when at that point where I was at that time, I was not looking attractive to sisters. As much as I desire sisters, oh God, I desire to be in a relationship. But relationship actually now finding relationship is not relationship is it's not even that relationship is not finding, relationship is running away. You know, because yes, there were several attempts
you know. As a drama minister, at that time after 2015, I went to Manzara School, of course. I went to Manzara School in 2015, in November 2015. And I started seeing sisters, drama sisters, you know, that's, let's see that I into the drama ministry. If we get together, we'll do ministry well now. At the alignment, you get, you know, but even drama ministry sisters, they don't want to. There's no one relationship with drama ministers as brothers. Why? You know, we ask them and they'll say, the funniest thing is that I had a relationship with sisters that to be so obvious that we like each other. You know, we talk, but we always got stuck in that place of God has not. Say, but I'm not getting a go ahead from God. What is happening? But me, I'm so convinced. So, I'm convinced you are the one. So, sorry, can we give it time? You know, so I've had experiences of being in several waiting rooms. Or sister, we'll wait and wait and wait until we say, we are tired of waiting. Let's just end this whole thing. And I've had the experience of 1 year waiting, 2 years waiting. Wow. Yes, we get a reply from a sister. You know, but, you know, later we understand that our sisters have other reasons sending it, you know, but God is good. How I met my wife eventually was by divine orchestration. It was at that point that I've tried in my own ways. I've tried getting into several relationships and it didn't work out. And I remember it was in one of the empowerment retreats in Mount Zion at Ile-Ife. So I said my own prayer point this time is that God, on this marital issue, please, let me know your mind. Not even settle because I'm tired. In fact, I had a very funny case. Maybe probably to be the first time I've been saying it in front of camera. I had a very funny case of asking a sister out, and after we dwelled on it for a while, the sister said it's not going to work, and we ended. Officially, we ended. It wasn't up to a month. I was already asking another sister. Because of that, and it wasn't because I wanted to be a promiscuous bud or something. It was just because I needed that relationship. What's the word now? Unknowingly to me, right? The sister that I just ended with and the new sister that I'm just getting close to, I've not even asked her out yet. They share the same spiritual father. So I just got the gist later. The spiritual father did not tell me, you know. But you know, this our ministry is small. Yes. We hear things, it flies. So the spiritual father now say, kilo she brother. Is it the only one? Is it the only one? He just asked this person out. Now it's you. You know, so it was actually a very embarrassing season for him. So all those ESA was getting to people were calling me, Seun, I hate this and this. Is it true? Is it true? Go and explain yourself. Call those ladies, explain yourself. Why do I need to go through it? Because I need a woman in my life, God. So that point I was tired. So I pray. I said, God, your will. You know. If you have seen the train, there's a scene where they say when Brother Mike sees sisters, when they say hi, when they say hello, he say hi. So I was in that kind of situation that period because I already decided that, oh no, I'm not interested in relationship again this time. So I think God already he had seen my heart after that retreat, the last day of the retreat, for the first time ever, that the mic, I think we just broke our fast and we're leaving the kitchen. So that the mic held my hand. And if you know that the mic very well, for those that know that it might be, when they go to your hand like this and it's shaking it like this, or often Bonnie, you want to say something to your life, you're like, Brushing. How are you? Feel that they are fine, sir. Ìyàwó ńkọ́? Ìyàwó ńkọ́, for those that don't understand English, say, how far with wife? Are you getting married anytime soon? I say, Daddy, I'm not ready, sir. I'm not. Was that what I said? I think I said I'm not ready. I said I'm not ready, sir. And he said, you are not ready. Why? I said, I want to be settled first before going into any relationship again. So Daddy now immediately was, she used to say, you want to be settled. Are you stable? Are you stable in God? You cannot be settled. You are not stable. You have to gain your stability first in God before you can be settled. It was like that was the word I needed for that 3 days retreat. And God just used that man to speak to me at that moment. It was like a divinely planned setup, because as he was speaking, Mommy was passing. And he just come on and said, Mommy, why? Brother is I want me was okay. And I said, he said you want to be settled. And Mommy says, settled. You must know your God first. See your father. You all know the story of how I married. He doesn't have anything. But it was his calling. It was his calling that attracted me. So when a woman sees your vision, your purpose, that is what you attract them, not what you have. You know. So I knew immediately that, So when the retreat ended, when other people left, me, I stayed back. I said, God, what is wrong with me? Why is it that I'm not stable in you? I started crying against support. You know. And so it was more like God rescued me immediately. Because this was on a Thursday. Early Thursday morning that I had this encounter with Daddy and Mommy. I slept over Habitation of Faith in Ife till Friday. Friday, I went to Parallax. And at that power night, I met my wife for the first time.
Wow.
And the way it happened, I was just going, I was, after that kind of experience, your eyes will be hot, like you have not even seen any sisters. So I was just going on my own, JJ. This was how this sister came. She's watching this. She doesn't like this part of the story, that she was the one that called me first. So that she called me. I said, I brought her. Hi, my name is Ifeoluwa. Are you Seun Adejumobi? I said, yes, Seun Adejumobi. I said, sorry, Ismail. I'm not sure I know this face. She said, yes, you might not know me. You might not know me. But she sent me a friend request on Facebook. I said, me. Sent you a friend request on. We said, yes. That's why she brought out her phone. Lo and behold, I send this friend request. You know how we send random friend requests on Facebook. I say, maybe that sister fine, no. You know. And then she said, nice meeting you. It's nice meeting you too, man. And I left. I'm not sure I took up to 10 steps. I started feeling that strange awareness all over me. And I hope I said, my God, who did I just speak to? I felt like something extraordinary just happened. And I turned my back, I didn't see her again. Meanwhile, the program has not started. You know, when Power Night is about to start, people are moving her. So she has gone out to do some other things with her friends. I know through that night, I was looking for her. Where is this sister? Her sister Efe. Hey, finally she came. And then she walked to me again. Again, for the second time, sister Ifeoluwa. 2 times she walked up to me. So for the second time she came, I just said, hey, Roshan, please, did you see that Adebadejo? He said that Adebadejo. Do you know that Adebadejo? because she's not like a regular drama minister. I don't know her face at all. That was the first time. Oh, so you know that Adubade? Said, yeah, I know that Adubade John now. Hey, oh, thank God. But in the BBC, they trace, so I can trace it to report, you know. And so I said, I've not seen him. So she left again. Meanwhile, me that I was looking for her before. She just there, I looked at her going like, they say, she has gone again now. You know. And after that night, you remember she said she sent me
Yes.
a friend request of Facebook. So after the program, you sent her. I sent her a friend request rather. So after the program, I went to check her name again on Facebook. Ifeoluwa Adalid. I said, hello ma, can you please send me your phone number? So she sent her phone number. And this was 2019, December 2019. Right? Was this only December? Yeah, I think it was December. Yeah, December 2019. Because we got married 7 months after we met. Yeah. So I called her. I was started talking. My credits finished. I loaded it again. We talked for hours. We talk about her life, talk about her purpose, talk about her vision, talk about this. My wife if my wife is here now, she will tell you that our first interaction was like an interview. Because I was asking her questions. Because I needed to know. Because I knew from that night that this person, you know. So the backstory was, when I was convinced that that's my wife, it was later that me too, I got to know that God has told that too. That same night. How? She came to Power Night with her wedding invitation card that she prepared by herself. And she put a date. She put a date and she said, Sister Ifeoluwa, the family of Sister Ifeoluwa Ajani, and the family of Brother Godswill. So that's how she puts it. Cordially invite you to their this and this. And she put a date to it. And she came with it to pray to God. Do you understand? And that night. So that night that the mic called out all the singles to dance forward for prayer. He does that most times at Power Nights. So we all came out. And me, I was at the front. I didn't know she was far behind me. So during the prayer, she told you later her own confession. She opened her eyes. She nipped at it. So he brother is there for the relationship. So then another thought came that Abonko in you. You know, this happened the one night. I had that thought, she has happened to him. You know, so when the time is right, when it was obvious that it was the sex type, there was no struggle at all. There was no struggle. I was looking for a drama minister. I was looking for a known drama minister, but God has prepared a sister somewhere for him that I didn't know her profile. But she turned out to be a fantastic drama minister as well. Because God is actually concerned about our desire too. It's just that sometimes we allow our own desire to supersede His will. Only if we know that God wants to please us as well. But we are not ready to align to His own picture, to His own will. Sometimes His will might not look like what we really want, but that is what we want. Okay, so. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
It might not look like what we really want, but that is actually what we need. We might not see it, but by the time it starts unfolding, the reality will why am I not seeing this before? Why didn't I see this part before? We'll start seeing it. And permit me to also say that God quickly arranged, I believe that God quickly arranged my meeting my wife, because I needed to meet my wife at that time. Because after I featured on the train, and before doing the train, I already met my wife. You know, the train was shot the next month. We started shooting the train the next month, January. I told myself that if I had met my wife, if I haven't met my wife before that time, there's the tendency that I don't know. I'm just saying that there's the tendency that I might not really get it right. Because after the training, there are a lot of interest. There are a lot of interest. There are sisters that I've approached in the past that I started seeing green lights from ladies. There's a tendency, there's a possibility that I might not get it right. In fact, as a man, so don't think men of God don't have doubts at times. So even when I already met my wife and we're in a relationship there, after the train, I met a lady online. She reached out to me on Instagram. She's in US. She's a doctor. And she came to me as that she loved drama ministry. She doesn't know where to go, how to start. She wanted to be her mentor, you know. So online, she writes script and send to me. I'll correct it. Or could do video call. What I should do as kids. I'll be the one directing. You know, that kind of back-to-back relationship. As a single brother, feelings started setting into. This is a sister in US. A doctor. Now to leave my job. You know. So there was a very heavy temptation. Was a very heavy temptation. And I was keeping at myself that, hey, and this is low, that I don't have anything at all. Hey, at that time, I've not even rented the house where I was living with my wife, you know. And so this is like an opportunity to be blessed in life, yeah. So I called my wife to be there. I told her, I said, start. I'm into full time. I started looking for ways to get her to get her free so that she will run. I said, I'm into full time. It's only drama that I'm doing. It's not always easy. Have you counted your cost? Do you think you can survive? Can you live with a scooter?
Which you did not ask before.
No, we've had all those conversations, right? Yes, well, no, I'm not trying to stay her. It was later that she told me that question got her angry. And she cried. She cried. She cried because she knew what was happening. She knew what was happening, that there is a contention. So after crying, she held hands with her dad. Dad is late now. My father-in-law is late now. She held hands with her dad and she prayed. Her dad is more like her prayer partner. And she prayed with her dad, you know, like she must not lose that man. That is like there's another lady around the corner. So God helped me to overcome that temptation. You know. And let me tell you how God helped. So this same sister in question now sends me a message. The same sister in US. She sends me a message and she said, question, can I say something? I said, say it. She said, I had a revelation. So what's the revelation? She said, I saw it getting married to another sister. And you were very happy. You were dancing, happy. And I was seated. And I was saying, I'm supposed to be that sister.
I said, wow. I said, this is God telling you that this mother is taking you. If you are already nursing with notion in your heart that something can come out of it, that he's already taken. So before me, I did not develop the courage to tell you that I've been taken, but God exposed me to you already. So that settles it too. We cannot be. I've been taken for real. So maybe it's my wife prayer that made God to go and pray that sister to warn her that see, keep off that energy. The man is taking for real. So it's I'm trying to be as sincere as possible. We sometimes when we see men of God and you feel that they don't go through their own personal struggles, that struggles is real. We are human, it's real, but the strength that would depart from God to rise, you know it, especially when we are getting to that stage of conformance. We enjoy the grace again to like go back to God and begging for mercy when we're already derailing gradually. And then I believe God just had mercy on me. So like I was saying, like I said before, God deliberately rescued me to provide later. My wife reformed Futima before I did the training. Because if she did not come at that time, something else would attract him. It is possible that after the training, it is possible that that might just be the last you will hear about him. Because I believe that at that point, any sister, that sister in US, mostly lonely, I'm telling you about that point, you know, and there is a tendency that I might not be able to do ministry like the way I do it now. You know, I'm just saying, I don't know, but I believe that all things work together for me, and God is mindful of his own beloved, and he sets up that plans in a way that it will favor his own child.
Thank you so much, sir. We really appreciate this. Please,
I've read too much of my secret. Why?
So can you just give a little advice to anybody that is planning, a young man there, a young woman out there that is just planning to start a ministry, and the person might be down like, how do I start?
All right, for those that are planning to start ministry, especially drama ministry, because this is what we do. For some of us, we are choosing drama as the only thing we do in life. Is the life we build every day. Is we have been sold out to go to work. First thing is your foundation in God is very important. Is your foundation, your roots in God. Your conviction. You don't have that strong roots. The way you rush out, rush in, that's how you rush back out. Because if you are not getting what you think you will get, if you are not getting because some persons, they believe that, this drama is for fame, it's for popularity, it's for money, it's for this and that. But on the contrary, for those of us that practice ministry very well, Sister Bamike, you can testify, it is God placing demand on every provision.
Yes, sir.
You know, it is God is just intentionally taking care of us to be sure that we are not hungry. You know, and then when the people see us, they see celebrity, they celebrate us, but they don't know that sometimes the next meal that celebrity will eat, he doesn't have it.
Yes, sir.
You know, and then people will ask, how are you doing all these big things? We do movies, quality, where you get all this money from? People ask us Christian producers, how do you make your money? You know, so ministry is not bread and butter. It's not a place where you just come and enjoy and live flamboyant life. It is a place where you actually make yourself a sacrifice, you know, for the assignments.
you threw the whole of yourself into it. And your case is a case of Hester in the Bible that says, I will go before the king. If I die, I die. If I perish, I perish. So far I'm doing this for the sake of the gospel, to save the soul. If the hunger for soul is the reason why you are doing ministry, if you have a mandate and instruction that God has given you to run with, for real, all these things are important before you even venture into ministry at all. That is why I used to say to people that drama ministry is beyond passion. Because I know passionate actors that are not drama ministers. I know people that are in secular production that are more extremely passionate than some of us in Christian drama ministry. Do you understand what
Yes, sir.
I know people that can go to any lengths in the name of acting. I know people that can staff and reduce their weight just because they want to fit into a particular role. I heard of a particular actor that because he was to play one rugged role in a movie, he smoked for 30 days.
Yes.
And he didn't bath. Just to make him look up. So you can imagine that kind of level of sacrifice, all because of passion. So for us, it's beyond passion. So ministry is what will profit the kingdom of God. Is an investment you are making, to the kingdom. So if you don't know all of this and you are coming into ministry, there's a tendency that it might just be a waste of time and a waste of effort. For everyone coming newly into drama ministry, I believe that yes, okay, thank God. I was going to say, because I said something, but it's not for enjoyment. It's not for enjoyment. But the other part to it is that as much as the Lord placed demand on some of these things, there are times, and this is the truth, so that as I'm talking, it's not going to sound like I'm scaring people away.
Yes, sir.
There are times that God will just decide to embarrass you with blessing.
Yes.
We've experienced it in my family many times. Till dates, sometimes we get blessing that we don't know who sent us the money. Personally, there are times that there was okay, now let me give a practical example. Before our wedding, I said that there was no place for us to move. So, because the church will always make it mandatory that you get a house before they join you together. So we got a 2-bedroom apartment, empty. So my wife to be there. He came to say, this is where we'll be, And so, that kind of that when you enter, you say, oh, you hear echoes. But the entire place is empty. The only thing in that house at that time is just a mattress, a mattress that look like mats. Those flats foam. And then my wife came and said, this girl lives in it. He said, don't worry, we'll be fine. So this is the heart of the minister, right? We spend faith as our currency. This was like few months of our wedding. Before we got married, that house was furnished. Everything that a young man would need in a house. Furnished, furnitures, TV, kitchen, everything was set. How it happened? It was called a race people. It was called a race people. It was, people just started calling, started blessing us. And there was a major miracle that bought it for us. Somebody just called from US. And she said, Bro Seun, I watched your interview on Pastor Victor Likoju's YouTube channel on your waiting experience. So my own waiting experience that looked like one boy used to punish me. It now became a message for somebody. So I did that interview and I shared some things about the pressure we go through in the place of waiting and the need for us to enjoy rest in God. And so she said that was exactly what she needed at that time. And that God used that message to really give her peace. And so she prayed for me. She's a small sister. Today she's married to a Nigerian. Yeah. Thank God. So she said, you just got married though. Congratulations. So what do you want for your wedding gift too? I said, he said, we are done with all the events. There is nothing. Say, so what can we now get? Say, I don't know. And then this woman said, do you have a car? I said, we don't have a car. So we don't have a car. I said, so don't have a car. Okay, let's see what God will do. And then she dropped the call, and then the next thing I started seeing pictures of cars. Said, do you like this one? Do you like this one? Do you like this one? It was like dream. You know? So we were on it back and forth. I picked one. Eventually, she was finding it difficult doing the clearing alone. And I said, Russia, you know what? We are dwelling too long on this. Let me just send you the money and buy the car for yourself in Nigeria. And that was how, for the first time in my life, I will not mention the entire record. I received millions as alerts, myself and my wife. See the way we're rolling on the floor. I said, God, why? God, why us? Why us? God. So, like I said, there are times that God will just embarrass us. That what you could have worked for 15, 20 years in one day. So when you see ministers of God and you see them driving Jeep, you don't know the story behind it. They say, they are making money. You don't know we see them in big house. For example, now, let me give another example. We got an apartment in camp where we live. And the owner of the house, the person that connected us with the owner of the house, sent that person our movies. So the owner now sent us the video. So he's celebrating that want to stay in our house. Okay. Please. So I now asked her how much would it cost. So the owner said, you know what? Just tell me what you think you can afford. This is a duplex. So tell us what you think you can afford. And myself and my wife, I said, my wife, don't let us let's just say 500. Let's just say 5,000. By value of that house, is a house that worth above million. And the house is already furnished. So I said, I will say 500, let me just say 400. So I said 400. He said, are you sure you can pay the 400? I said, yes, ma'am, we can pay. He said, okay, just pay and pay there. But I said, I mean, so 400. Say we can pay 400. He said, my wife can't have money. I'm only doing. You know, I said 200, you know. But ordinarily, when people see us in that big house, they say, but she is a big man. You don't know the story, how God takes care of ministers, his own ministers. So sometimes you don't know the backstory. It is God that, you know, he knows our need.
Yes, sir.
He knows our need, and he will not rubbish his grace. That grace that is upon us, he doesn't want to rubbish it. One of our fathers he says, the people see the glory, but we, between us and God, we know the story.
Yes.
We were in a program, and then Mike was saying that when they were building Jesus Center, sorry, Mike, I'm saying too much of the story. I'm sorry, sir. They said when they were building Jesus Center, that there was a time that the contractor needed only 250,000. And that my Bamiloye of Mount Zion does not have 250,000 naira for weeks. And he sat on the wall. I was praying to God for 250,000 blessing. Who would have thought? I sat down at that corner and I was looking that even at this level, this man needed to start trusting God for 250,000. So when I thought that to draw 200 million would be like, and you know, because of the way God has built us in ministry, God has built us in such a way that you don't find your way around it. This is the lesson that our fathers are teaching us. Because the kind of connection and network that Daddy Mike has, he can send a message to any of his children or any of his sons or anybody that I need 5 million for this social project. Before the day, before the end of that day, Allah to the entry, papa. But he needed to trust God for that money. Some of us, even me, at times, I send message. At times, I send message to people. Man of God, we are broke. You understand? It will not work. It will not work. I will not come back to my senses that God has told us to trust Him. I'm doing too much. I'm even embarrassing myself. People that should not know my need, I'm already telling them. And they already feel like, I thought this man is a big man. You know, so it is God that take care of us. It is God that takes care of us. And all these things that you see around ministers of God is God's glory.
Yes.
It's God's glory. You can see it on your face. It's kind of like it is God's glory. If I ask you your whole story, so now let me ask you.
Thank you so much, sir. We really appreciate. Thank you for sharing this, and I'm sure we've learned a lot from this story, the experience that our daddy in the Lord, Evangelist Seun Adejumobi, just shared with us. Please don't rush into anything, because if you're rushing, you're going to rush out. Take your time. Pray about every step you are going to take, and I'm sure that if you are in alignment with the will of God for your life, God is going to be your right. Thank you so much for watching, and God bless you.
Thank you so much for having us. Bless us. Bye.